They began as roaring giants of steel and became ghosts that strike before you ever see them. This is the 80-year evolution of America's most feared bombers. Born in the shadow of World War II, the North American B-45 Tornado roared into the sky as America's first operational jet bomber, symbolizing a new era of air power. Powered by 4 turbojet engines, it could slice through the air at 566 miles per hour, fly over 2,170 miles, and carry 22,000 pounds of bombs beneath its sleek frame. It was the first jet built to deliver nuclear weapons, fitted with advanced radar bombing systems and a pressurized cockpit that gave pilots the power to strike faster and higher than any enemy expected. The Tornado's arrival ended the piston age, introducing a jet-driven future that changed how wars would be fought. Strategically, it became the tip of America's early Cold War deterrent, patrolling Europe and testing Soviet radar long before missiles ruled the skies. It proved one thing: speed could now be as powerful as firepower. But as the Tornado cut through the clouds, engineers were already designing something that could carry America's might across the world without ever leaving home soil. When the B-50 Superfortress entered service in 1948, it marked the final and most powerful chapter of the piston-engine bomber era. With a top speed of 394 miles per hour, a wingspan of 141 feet, and a range of 7,750 miles, it could fly farther and hit harder than its legendary predecessor, the B-29. Equipped with 4 mighty Pratt & Whitney R-4360 engines and strengthened wings, it was built to carry 20,000 pounds of bombs straight into the heart of any target. The B-50 became the first aircraft to circle the globe non-stop during the Lucky Lady 2 mission, proving that American bombers could now strike anywhere on Earth. It introduced in-flight refueling and improved pressurization, extending both range and endurance for global operations. For a moment, it seemed unbeatable until the jet age made its propellers feel like relics of the past. As the Cold War escalated, the B-50's era was ending fast, and a new monster was rising, one so massive it could reach Moscow without ever landing. Nicknamed 6 turning and 4 burning, the Convair B-36 Peacemaker was the largest bomber ever built, a flying fortress designed to end wars before they began. With 6 piston engines and 4 jet boosters, it reached 435 miles per hour, stretched 162 feet long, and carried an unmatched 86,000 pounds of bombs across a staggering 10,000 miles. This aircraft didn't just deliver power, it embodied it, giving America the ability to launch nuclear strikes from home bases without refueling or foreign allies. Its massive wingspan of 230 feet housed crew decks, radar systems, and defensive turrets that made it both fortress and weapon. The B-36 defined the strategy of deterrence before missiles existed, ensuring no enemy could strike first without paying the ultimate price. It patrolled the Cold War skies as both guardian and threat, holding peace through fear. But in a world where speed now ruled survival, even the giant Peacemaker would soon be overshadowed by a bomber that didn't crawl across the sky, it streaked through it. The Boeing B-47 Stratojet was the sleek spear that launched the jet bomber age, a machine built for speed, altitude, and precision. With 6 turbojet engines mounted under its swept-back wings, it could reach 607 miles per hour, climb above enemy interceptors, and unleash 25,000 pounds of bombs over targets thousands of miles away. Measuring 107 feet long with a 116-foot wingspan, the B-47 wasn't just an aircraft, it was a revolution in aerodynamics and warfare. Its design inspired every bomber that followed, combining jet propulsion, aerial refueling, and high-altitude bombing into one lethal package. For nearly 2 decades, it formed the backbone of Strategic Air Command, standing ready to deliver nuclear fire at a moment's notice. The Stratojet proved that jet speed and long reach could dominate global skies, setting the stage for America's air supremacy. But as Soviet defenses advanced, altitude alone wasn't enough, so the next generation of bombers would fly lower, strike faster, and outthink the radar that hunted them. The Martin B-57 Canberra entered the skies in 1953 as a swift and adaptable jet bomber designed for precision in an age dominated by giants. Reaching speeds of 598 miles per hour with a range of 2,720 miles, its 65-foot frame and 64-foot wingspan carried a modest but deadly 4,500-pound payload. Built under license from Britain's Canberra, it was upgraded with American avionics, improved engines, and advanced radar systems for day and night operations. The B-57 excelled at low-level bombing, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare, proving its worth in Korea and Vietnam, where it hunted ground targets with deadly accuracy. It was smaller and faster than its predecessors, able to strike before radar could react. Its versatility made it a pioneer of multi-role tactical bombing, bridging the gap between heavy strategic missions and close battlefield support. But as the Cold War deepened, America needed something that could dominate the skies for decades, an aircraft so vast, so capable, that it would become a legend. Introduced in 1955, the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress remains the undisputed king of strategic bombers, a symbol of endurance and dominance that has outlived every aircraft of its generation. With a top speed of 650 miles per hour, a range of 8,800 miles, and a staggering 70,000-pound bomb load, this 160-foot giant, with its 185-foot wingspan, became America's ultimate power projection weapon. 8 jet engines lifted it higher and farther than any adversary, while advanced radar and navigation systems allowed precision strikes across continents. It formed the backbone of U.S. nuclear deterrence throughout the Cold War and evolved into a versatile platform for conventional bombing, cruise missiles, and even modern precision-guided munitions. From Vietnam's jungles to Desert Storm's deserts and the mountains of Afghanistan, the B-52 has written history in smoke and thunder. Constant upgrades keep it battle-ready even today, with plans to fly well past 2050. Yet, as air defenses grew deadlier, even the mighty Stratofortress needed protection, and that protection would soon arrive in the form of a new kind of bomber built not just to strike, but to shield. The Douglas B-36 destroyer entered service in 1956. As more than a bomber, it was the invisible shield of America's strike force. With a speed of 631 miles per hour, a range of 2,470 miles, and a 15,000-pound bomb capacity, its 75-foot frame carried advanced sensors for a new kind of warfare, electronic combat. Quickly adapted into the RB-66 and EB-66 variants, it jammed radar, gathered intelligence, and escorted B-52 seconds safely through enemy defenses during the Vietnam War. The B-66 proved that survival in modern airspace depended on deception, not armor, laying the foundation for electronic countermeasures used today. It was the first aircraft to turn radio waves into weapons, but soon, speed would become the ultimate defense. The Convair B-58 Hustler entered service in 1960 as the first supersonic bomber, built to outrun anything that could shoot it down. With a top speed of 1,319 miles per hour, a range of 4,700 miles, and a 19,000-pound payload, its sleek delta wing design cut through the sky at twice the speed of sound. Powered by 4 turbojets and guided by radar and inertial navigation, it carried nuclear firepower with precision and terrifying speed. The Hustler broke dozens of world records and proved that velocity could be a weapon, though its high cost and complexity limited its life. Still, it inspired the bombers that followed, each faster, smarter, and deadlier than before. But the next one wouldn't just fly fast, it would hunt low, unseen and unstoppable. Built for the unpredictable skies of the Cold War, the FB-111 Aardvark entered service in 1969 as a sleek, terrain-hugging strike bomber that could outfly radar itself, reaching speeds of 1,450 miles per hour with a combat range of 3,690 miles. It carried a deadly 35,500-pound payload beneath its 70-foot swing wings and 73-foot fuselage. Its variable geometry design, afterburning turbofans, and terrain-following radar allowed it to fly just hundreds of feet above ground at supersonic speed, unseen until the moment of impact. Designed to replace the B-58, it gave the U.S. Air Force the ability to strike low, fast, and precisely while surviving modern air defenses. The FB-111 proved that flexibility and speed were the new armor. But what followed would push that philosophy even further, creating a bomber that could crush continents and slip through radar nets in a single mission. The Rockwell B-1 Lancer, known as the Bone, took flight in 1986 as the next evolution of American strategic power, built to merge speed, stealth, and payload into one unstoppable weapon. It could sprint at 830 miles per hour, fly 5,900 miles without refueling, and deliver up to 75,000 pounds of bombs within its massive 146-foot frame and 137-foot wingspan. Variable sweep wings, advanced electronic countermeasures, and terrain-following radar turned the B-1 into a low-level predator capable of striking under the enemy's radar horizon. Initially designed for nuclear missions, it evolved into a conventional powerhouse, dropping precision munitions in Iraq, Kosovo, and Afghanistan with unrivaled accuracy. The Lancer became the bridge between brute force and precision warfare. But what came next would change the rules of invisibility forever. The Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit entered service in 1997 as a shape from the future, an aircraft that could fly into the heart of any defense system and leave no trace. With a wingspan of 172 feet, a length of 69 feet, and a range of 6,900 miles, it carried up to 40,000 pounds of bombs while cruising at 630 miles per hour. Its flying wing design and radar-absorbent materials made it invisible to detection, redefining the meaning of strategic dominance. Able to deliver both nuclear and conventional strikes, it led operations in Kosovo, Iraq, and Libya, proving that stealth was now the ultimate weapon. But as global threats evolve once more, a new ghost is already rising: the B-21 Raider, ready to carry America's legacy of invisible power into the next century. From roaring engines to silent wings, America's bombers have defined power for generations, each one deadlier, smarter, and built to rule the skies. Subscribe for more epic stories of military evolution. And don't forget to like, share, and comment your favorite bomber below.